Hey, good morning, guys. Sunday morning. Hope your weekend was a fabulous one. Trouble free. It seemed to be here, knock on Formica or whatever that is. Yeah. So, did a little bit of painting here on the quad limber and 25 pounder. And I tried to change the olive drab that I have by lightening it up a little bit. The Tamiya stuff is just so dark, and I kind of stopped where I was at. I didn't much care for it. The pictures I see of these, well, of course you can find tons of black and white. There are a couple of museum pictures that I find, and the olive drab that's on those is actually has quite a bit of green in it. And I don't think I have enough here. This is just the JA green, but it's dark like an olive drab, and it certainly has more of the green, similar to what I'm seeing on the internet. Unless my monitor's completely out of calibration, which, hey, that or my eyeballs are just for shit anymore. Well, that could happen too. So there's definitely more paint work to be done there. I didn't much care for the if you guys have any suggestions of a paint out of the jar that might work, you gotta have some Royal Army colors and whatnot to use. I'm just not seeing them or paying attention for whatever reason. Just notice that bad boys in there. Well, I doubt that's a Speedo. Probably more likely a tachometer. Because I don't think these bad boys were all that fast. From what I read anyway. We've got the driver. And I don't, oh, here it is. Back when I bought all these model kits, when I first got started, I knew there was going to be a time of no dinero, and sure enough, I think that time has come and gone, I think. And I had more than enough to get me through. But I picked up a couple of these Verlinden kits, figures, parts, and this one here happens to be the British Red Devils. So I've started working on this guy, and I'll have to go back and watch Norm's video on working with these. I made sure to cover up and mask up when I was doing the cutting and whatnot, but yeah. Anyway, oh my goodness, he's falling apart on me. Poor guy. This, why am I not thinking of Gav's? It's not Gav 009, gosh dang it. Apologies, Gav, I will make it up in the next video. I'm sitting here at a computer that doesn't work, so otherwise I would just look it up real quick. God dang it. What a knucklehead. Anyway, Gavin sent me some photographs of these quads, the limbers, the guns. And there's a particular photo where it appears to be climbing a little hill next to a, I don't know, we'll call it a farmhouse. And the farmhouse or house or apartment building, whatever it is, I mean, right up to the road. If you stepped out in the morning without your coffee and you weren't paying attention, you'd be underneath a car. So there is the option to have the hatch on the roof open. And in this particular photograph, it is open. And it has, I don't know what gun the gentleman's holding, but he's up through the top. And not in this photograph, but something I think I would like to try. There are some windows to the building, and I thought, well, I have to be able to find these figures in 135th civilians. And to find a young lady that I could place in the window, perhaps, I don't know. Yep. Waving to her man as he goes off to war, or just welcoming them to town. You know, that type of stuff. Okay. That's some pretty good detail on these little Verlinden dudes, that's for sure. And when you buy a box of them, I mean, it comes with, there are all kinds of goodies in there. So I picked up this one here, happens to be U.S. tankers. I like this pose here. This must be Rico Suave or something of the military. I just like that, kind of sitting on his ass, legs crossed, at a picnic. Maybe he'll be sitting over the engine bay working on the engine. That's what we'll have him doing. Oh, to ramble on, AT-ST is still at that stage. It's glossed, and I just need to start weathering it up. Little touch-up paint here and there. Drilled out the guns, added a bunch of guns, obviously. Added some styrene to be more of the hydraulics. Added heat sinks in the back, that's what I was calling them, some fan covers, because it didn't have anything there, it was just plain. So today we'll see about starting to weather AT-ST. I apologize if I'm boring you guys. If you're even still there. Oh, last night I tried to spray some of this. And I know there are you guys out there that can spray this in an airbrush. And mad props to you, because, yeah, I've made my last attempt at spraying this through an airbrush. I have a project coming up that I bought these for, which I understand is going to make my life considerably easier anyway. We shall see about that, but from what I've seen, a lot of guys use this. It goes straight into the gun and go. Whether there's, I'm sure there's a little fine tuning in the gun if it starts to spit or dry tip, but yeah, this is, I know it's for brush, but I've seen people spray it. They seem to make it work, but I used about half a bottle of thinner for 1 cup of paint and didn't get much paint out until it gummed up. This is like Elmer's glue, which I'm sure makes it go a long ways. Another tool that I found handy, I picked up this tool kit, and it came with, it was like 10 bucks on Amazon. Bunches of brushes, picks, but this little beauty right here is what cleaned out the gun last night. And it's just like a tool like I have out there for the welder, for a MIG welder. It, except the one out there, of course, the tips are on a whole different scale. And I don't know if you can, maybe on some of the bigger ones you can see that there's a file texture to it. And I couldn't believe how much paint there on the tip and the nozzle that was coming out of that thing. So I ran that through it, put it back together, and that was definitely the issue. I know Alex a while back, he had some, sounded like he was going to dedicate a whole day to cleaning his airbrushes, and I think it had to do with the same type of brand paint, but if I remember correctly, it was the primer. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But like I said, Amazon has this. It's got this tool. It has 10 different brushes, a pick, which might actually even help with the wood textures now that I think of it. That is this pick right here. That one's a lot sharper. And it also came with the squirt bottle for the Windex or cleaner or whatever you're going to run through your brush. So I am going to enter into Jake Cutter's Steve's carrier-based aircraft, and I believe that one fits the bill. Fernando Duarte just built one of these not long ago, and it turned out very nice. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. It's real nice. Scale-wise, this one will sit on the wing of the one that he did. But it looks like I might get some practice with rivet work and definitely the paint work. And we'll have this one gear down for a change. And so there's the entry into the carrier-based aircraft. The Dauntless is it. Last but not least, the scratch build bug has got a hold of me again. I've been bugging Panzerman's Bunker Build about doing a scratch build. Whether or not he's still thinking about it, I don't know. So just that in mind, I had a plan what I was going to build, and then this came along and I thought, well, this will give me practice. I am trying to build the droid, the probe from Hoth. From what I've read, I can't tell that they actually have a name for them other than just that a probe. Research. Some of them are combat models. I think all of them are capable of defending themselves. They're also capable of self-destruction if they are detected and their mission is complete, from what I'm reading. And it has lots of smoothing out to do and a base. And I had started making one out of styrene, which could still happen. This top portion here turned into, I'd run out of styrene, so it kind of just turned into a bit of whatever pieces I could have to patch it over. But I still may use this. These pieces are on there good enough that I can trim them with an X-Acto knife and they're not popping off or going anywhere. Putty it up and sand her down. Any of you that have worked with this Super Sculpey, can you put in the comments if you've used it? Is it sandable? Once it's been in the oven, had a chance to harden, can it be drilled? And can it be sanded? Yeah, there's a lot of smoothing to go. It may look smooth on the camera, then again it may not. But, There are some parts that are just horrendous. And I've got some, I don't know, a few tools over here to work with it. I was just curious if I can get it close and go ahead and bake it and then get it out and go to work on it with sanding blocks, files. That's going to make it, that's where I'll be able to bring out the some of the detail. I think, I hope. And if any of you know the actual name of the droid or probe, throw it down on there. I don't even know what I'll do with this. I watched a video last night, Chris and Alex modeling, where he was doing some casting. And that might even be an option, especially with something like this one here, if I get it completely smoothed out and just leave off all of the sensors and such. Those can be added. Make separate cast for those. He said he might do a tutorial. We'll see, I hope. And Chris and Alex, this is the decal kit from that F-14 I was telling you about. I know it's different than the one that you have, but it looks good and clean anyway. Certainly no yellowing that I see. I'm even having a hard time finding the carrier film. That's kind of hard to believe. Revell stuff. Anyhow, that's the decal kit I have for that. And as I said, I've got tons of spare parts for that aircraft as well. The main fuselage is built and it was in flight, so gear, wheels, all that stuff is all still loose. If you need any of that to do casting in the resin and whatnot, let me know. I'll drop it in the mail. Okay guys, that's it for my babbling, blundering, yada yada yada. We'll do a little sculpting today, a little weathering on the ATST, and well, maybe we'll do some construction on our Red Devil here. Have a good day, gentlemen. Take care. Bye.